This is the third and also the last video of the journal entry explanation series. As we learned from the last video, the debit amount is determined by the lookup debit amount formula. We then use the debit amount formula to look up to different tables for the target column based on the reference. Here we use the same tactic, but we do that under the credit amount column, pointing to the lookup credit amount column instead. Before I show you the details, let's read the disclaimer. For the expense transaction, when we trace from the credit amount formula to the lookup credit amount column, we see that our target column for expense position 4 is expense invoice amount. And the target for expense position 6 is expense first settle. So when we go back to the credit amount column for position 4, we're looking up to the expense table's invoice amount column with the match of the reference 1 to the reference 1 of the expense table. Here is the $112 for the invoice amount that appears at the position 4. Similarly, for position 6, we are looking up to the expense table's first settle column with the match of the reference 1 to the reference 1 of the expense table. Here is the $112 for the first settle amount that appears at the position 6. Now let's move on to the income transaction. For position 4, we have to look up to the net amount column from the income table. That's the net amount $100 that you see at the position 4. For position 5, we need to look up to the tax amount column from the income table, which is this one you see at the position 5. For position 6, we look up to the first settle column from the income table. That's the $10 of first settlement that you see at position 6. Now for the fund transfer. Here we only have one credit amount, which is from the withdrawn amount column from the bank table. Since our system doesn't involve foreign currencies, so the withdrawn amount is the same as the deposit amount. And we didn't enter anything for the withdrawn amount, we'll see 0 for both the withdrawn and deposit amount. That's why you see the 0 here at the position 6. Just like fund transfer, payment transaction also has one credit amount at position 6. This is from the payment amount column from the payment table, which is this one you see at position 6. Similar to payment transactions, receipt transaction also has one credit amount at position 6. This is from the receipt amount from the receipt table. That's the $100 to reduce the accounts receivable that you see at position 6. Before we end this video, I just want to add some notes for those who build their own accounting system. First, it's a good practice to add a checksum for each journal entry because it can help spotting any missing data and irregularities and avoid backchecking at the later stage. Second, putting up data validation at the bookkeeping stage is essential. Imagine if you enter a negative figure in the invoice settlement, it will break your system. Remember, garbage in, garbage out. Now we know how the amount data flow from the bookkeeping interface to the journal entry. In our next video, I will show you how to generate the trial balance, income statement, or profit and loss in the UK, and the balance sheet or whatever report with the data in journal. Ciao.